Hello, YouTube! Welcome! My name is Random, and today we're watching more Discovery. So today's episode is called Choose Your Pain. It's episode 5. I guess I chose watching Discovery as my pain, so yeah, pretty good title there, Discovery. Oh, 1 minute in, and we already have more of not Spock, aka Michael Burnham, than I want to see. I guess she's dreaming about taking a ride on the magic mushroom bullshit drive or something. This episode. This is another episode I had to stop in the middle of watching. It's just so. I think I need to retitle these "Everything I Hate About Star Trek Discovery" because it's clear that these are not good shows. Oh, but Burnham does the first Starfleet thing I think I've ever seen her do in the show and decides to study this tardigrade thing, discovering that it seems distressed every time they use him in the spore drive plug-in thing. Whatever, who cares? She consults the doctor since he's pretty much the most Starfleet person on the ship and might actually have some concern for its well-being. I'm gonna rant here and compare this to Next Gen. Wasn't the purpose of Q's visit to the Enterprise to see if we were ready to go out there and make thoughtful decisions? Like, to go and make sure that we're not going to go around killing everything like when we slaughtered the buffalo or something? I really wish that Q had picked this ship to test instead. They would fail and the show would be over. We'd never have to watch them again. But no. But no. We get more Star Trek Discovery. And so this is a space station, apparently. I guess. Not like I can see anything. It just looks like a blue mess of CG. That might just be a me problem since I have trouble looking at so much CG. But, this is just a mess. We can't see anything. It doesn't look like anything. It's like they're spending $8 million an episode for this. For this. This is $8 million an episode. And we can't even see it. Oh, boy. So, on the space station, Lorca's meeting with a buttload of admirals and stuff. And they're telling him to stop using the spore drive because the Klingons... Yeah, and yes, they're still calling them Klingons. Might have seen them use it. So, yes, remember, don't use the spore drive anymore. The Klingons might have seen you use it. So, we won't want them to get any of the technology. We don't want them to know anything about it. We don't even want you to basically, we don't want them to know about it. We don't want them to be able to pinpoint where it is. None of that. But remember when you freaking ordered him to spore over to that dilithium mining colony thingy? Remember them? Last episode? Well, me neither, but that mining colony, which was so important, by the way, to Starfleet. I missed this last episode. Somebody pointed out to me that I missed it. That, they were so important, this mining colony was, that Starfleet left them protected with only a little bubble shield thingy. Not little ships patrolling. They didn't even have any ships in range of that super important dilithium mining colony. And, for dilithium, for anybody who doesn't know, is the fuel for the ships that aren't flown on the magic mushroom drive. And here we have Tilly trying to be friendly to not Spock. Of course, Burnham has to be a bitch to her. But she does open up and explain that the tardigrade's getting weak every time they use it. I grabbed this image because I wanted to see this couple of blurry aliens in the background over here. I really wish I could tell what species they are, but no, it's the Michael Burnham show. Hell, Tilly's only in this scene to have an excuse for not Spock to say she's worried about the tardigrade, I guess. Seriously, you have all this money to spend on these aliens. You put them in makeup. You put these actors in makeup. Coming in at 4 or 5 in the morning. And you don't even have them in focus. It's really sad. I want to know about these people. I want to know who they are. No, it's the Michael Burnham show. And, of course, this is the captain's shuttle coming from that meeting on that CG starbase. and this fucking show is trying to pass off as a D7 battle cruiser. So this is supposed to be this. Not a D7 battle cruiser. D7 battle cruiser. I can't even see what this is. You're telling me this is the D7 battle cruiser? Oh, they also say later on that it's supposed to be a prison ship. And I also have to point out that the Klingon ship is close enough to the starbase not to get detected. And to know that there is a prisoner valuable enough to take. And if it's been only a few minutes since Lorca got on board, like it really seems to be, like, why didn't they see them? Why didn't they notice it? And you want me to believe that the Klingon ship that I refuse to call a battlecruiser just happened to go there undetected and grab the captain's shuttle. Talk about a coincidence. Yep. Also, why the crap did he take a shuttle? Why did the Discovery just go to the space station and dock? It's not like they do any space exploration or anything on the show. I guess he just took a shuttle so he could get captured or something. It's just plot convenience. It's not good. It's not fun. Like seriously, go dock at the space station. You can just dock at those things, you know. They have docking rings and stuff. Sure, it's not Deep Space Nine and it doesn't look as cool. I mean, I guess that must have cost too much money to render the ship next to the space station. I don't know. So yeah, D7, not a D7. D7. Any questions? This is a Klingon ship. Oh, but it's confirmed that this was a targeted attack by Klingons, according to this admiral. She's on the bridge, holographing in, even though they can't do that, but I already covered that. And they somehow knew Lorca was on the shuttle, and knew he was the one with the spore drive. How? How are a bunch of Klingons that sit in space for 6 months, duct taping their ship together, going to know enough about the humans to know where this one specific human is at the precise time they need to know when to grab him? And don't tell me it's like other Klingons, because coming up we see this the same goddamn female Klingon we've seen throughout this whole mess. Furthermore, you know that ship that they call the D7 battlecruiser? Well, they also call it a prison ship. Which one is it? Do you think the audience is so dumb we won't notice? You think maybe you'll throw so many stupid things that our brains will just, like, they'll just shut down and we'll just accept it? You know? Like, Scrooge sending Joel cheesy movies on Mystery Science Theater to make him go insane. Send him this garbage. This is enough to make me, like, just absolutely lose words. Lose the ability to think words. It makes my head hurt. It makes my brain shut down. I can't think things. I have to stop halfway through. I get like 10 minutes in. I'm like, I can't watch any more of this. So yeah, they went after Lorca specifically. Oh, Lord. And of course, let me go back to the scene. Let me go back to the scene. So let me get this straight. We have acting Captain Saru ordered the crew to prepare for multiple jumps to try and find Lorca. And the Admiral just said that like 5 minutes ago that we can't go around using the spore drive because the Klingons might notice it. I guess they noticed it enough to capture the captain, but still, they could have, like, they could send out probes and sensors and scout ships and all kinds of things, just waiting for this to collect any data on how this stupid ship works. They have the captain, but he doesn't go around with a flipping schematic tattooed on his ass to how the damn drive works, right? And if you told anyone that it ran on magic mushrooms connected to the space bear, they'd look at him like he was an idiot. Oh. So, Saru, being not at all Starfleet material, doesn't take into consideration Burnham's suggestion not to use the tardigrade monsty thing because it looks like it's getting hurt. You know, like Picard would do. He would totally just say, "Yeah, screw it. We'll go with that." Picard would totally go around assuming that something isn't getting tortured because somebody he doesn't like says it's acting like it's hurting to spite them. I no longer like Saru in this show. This is kind of where we lose him. First couple of episodes he was cool. Not anymore. He's an asshole to an asshole character because drama. And not taking his job seriously. And sure, we all want a crew, like we all want the crew to go and save the captain. But this is Star Trek. Find a better way. You know? Kirk would, Picard would, hell, even Janeway would. And Janeway did some pretty questionable things. Oh, Lord. You're breaking my brain, show. Oh, yep. And yeah, more of this. I don't know why I grabbed that twice. So of course, he draws up a list of all the bestest captains in Starfleet. He wants to compare his actions against, like, the compassionate, honorable, good, most decorated captains. Well, at least he's aware that he's not being very, very Starfleet because of Burnham, you know? Like, he hates her so much he's doing things just to spite her. You know, of course we have basically, hey, remember Captain April? Remember Jonathan Archer? Remember Matthew Decker? Like, this stuff is so cheap and condescending to actual fans of the show. It's like you're basically reminding me of a better version of Star Trek. You want me to go pop in the original series? It's right there. I can do that. I can watch the original series. I don't need to be reminded of it in this show because this show is so far removed from that. What did I just say, Star Trek? I said we don't need to be reminded of a better show. This is Harry Mudd. This is what they're trying to pass off as Harry Mudd now. Here we have the arrival of yet another, remember Star Trek reference. Good old Harry Mudd. Okay, now I don't hate Rainn Wilson as Harry Mudd. I think he actually does a pretty decent job. He's playing a character that any fan of the original series is going to know. You know, and of course Mudd here says that we're on a prison ship. Even though earlier they flat out told us it's a D7, which is it? You know, plus, you know, a prison ship when the Klingons don't take prisoners, except when they do. So anyway, Harry Mudd is being held in the same cell as good old Captain Lorca. So what a coincidence, you know, that someone we knew from the original show as sort of a bad guy, but not really too bad, would happen to be here in space. Space is really big, though. Like really, really big. The chance that he, of all people, would go on this ship is just astronomical. And it is just so cheap of a thing to remind the original fans of. Like I said, I can watch Harry Mudd right now if I want to. He's right there. I can probably reach it if I lean back far enough. I can pull it up on, was it on Netflix or Hulu? I got both of them. I can just pull it up. I don't need to watch this. But anyway, we get a nice little episode title drop from the Klingon here when he asks the prisoners to choose their pain. Apparently, there's another prisoner in the room with Mudd and Lorca. So Mudd chooses him to get the pain, the little guy on the floor that, you know, basically is a red shirt. And we have a cute way for the Klingons not only to physically but mentally torture prisoners by having them choose who gets beat up, you know, by keeping them from getting too close to each other. Klingons, by the way, you know, the once biker Mongolians of the galaxy. I always call them bikers because they're jovial and they drink and they eat and they screw. So, you know, pretty much bikers. You know, not the Cardassians or the Romulans, you know, the aliens who've established in Star Trek to actually take prisoners and torture people. You know, go watch David Warner as a Cardassian torturing Picard. Those things actually happened on the show. But you know, Klingons torture people now. Sure, whatever. Not just by making them listen to opera either. Because we know that a lot of Starfleet officers hate Klingon opera, apparently. But they actually torture people. And okay, Burnham here, back on the ship. Goes against Saru and actually does some Starfleet stuff. And tries to convince Stamets to find a workaround instead of using the Monstie. She even gets his boyfriend to kind of double confront him, I guess. I mean, this is Michael Burnham, so surely she could just do all the all the convincing that she needs and all the scans that she needs and everything. She would need to like bring in the doctor, but whatever. I'm happy to see him. I like him. I like the doctor. He's actually a character. He actually seems halfway decent on the show. I don't know, maybe it's a rewrite or something and they just needed to actually use some of the other crew members. I'm counting it as a complaint because it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb to me because this is the Michael Burnham show. She needs to do everything, remember? And back over on the D7 battle cruiser prison ship thing, we meet Ash Tyler. Yep. Even Lorca is suspicious of this guy's story about surviving Klingon torture for 7 months. Now, remember the time frame. It will come up again. Remember, right here, he's saying, I've been tortured for 7 months. And Lorca's like, how can you possibly survive being tortured on a Klingon ship for 7 months? So they flat out say, 7 months. It's important. I don't know how to react to this. We have F-bombs in Star Trek now. I was so distracted by this just blatant F-bomb out of nowhere. Just completely out of place. That I don't even care what they're talking about anymore. I guess it's something to do with we need something to interface to whatever, but who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Seriously, they just put an F-bomb in Star Trek. They say it twice. You know? She even says, oh, I'm so sorry I said that. And he's like, no, it is fucking awesome. Because Tilly's like, that's fucking awesome. Who is this show for? Who is this show for? Star Trek used to be that show like the whole family could go and watch and sit down and, you know, it was on, Sunday nights or something on reruns when I was watching it. I was in 2nd grade when I saw my first Star Trek anything. I saw Star Trek 4, The Search for Whales in the theater. I was a kid and I loved it. You know, I loved it. It was great. I still laugh at Double Dumbass on You. Who is this for? It's not like the fans... It's not for fans, right? Because they would know what Klingons look like and know that the giant CG triangle that isn't a fucking D7 battle cruiser isn't actually a D7 battle cruiser. This isn't a show for intelligent people that pay any attention to details. Is this just like a tax write-off or something? For some bullshit CBS All Access experiment that nobody wants? Is this a show made by people who hate Star Trek? Like, seriously, did some nerd outsmart the creators and they got their feelings hurt? And they decided, I know, we'll go to writer's school and go write for Star Trek one day and make it terrible just to piss off all the nerds. It's like, do they really need to get back at us by making the most bullshit Star Trek ever? Like, seriously, fuck this show. I'm not making any ad revenue on these episodes anyway, so seriously. Oh, God. So I can say fuck the show and be okay with it. So yeah, F-bombs in Star Trek. And now, yeah, okay, so you mean to tell me that Ash Tyler, right? We're coming back to the Ash Tyler stuff because here we see Lorca getting tortured by this Klingon. You know, and of course Ash Tyler, who's totally not a Klingon spy, was on 7 months with this Klingon specifically. This one right here, Laurel. The Klingon from the other episodes. She's out there starving while they're duct taping the ship back together. She's the one saying, oh, I can send you off, but it won't be pleasant. I can send you off to the matriarchs. It won't be pleasant. To Vok, the albino. This is the same Klingon from all the other episodes. And you really think that we wouldn't notice? Now, and this is supposed to be either a year after the first pilot or a month after the third, which would make it about 7 months into the series from beginning to end, give or take. It's not a year because the timeline doesn't match up. We're about a month after the Klingons ended up, like, getting their ship put back together, and the other Klingon coming in and saying, here's some food, and them sending off the albino. So we're about a month after that episode, right? So did they really think that we wouldn't notice the time matching up weird? And because the Admiral in the opening scene basically acts like the mining colony just happened, like maybe within a week or so. So this chick just got on this ship, like maybe within the last month. But Tyler has been tortured by her for 7 months. And we know it's her because they have some dialogue later in this episode. Again, you're breaking my brain, Star Trek, and I don't know how to articulate it without drawing up a giant detailed diagram that you're not worth. You're not worth my time for a diagram. But trust me, the timelines don't match up. There's no way she was on this ship. She just got there. Oh, boy. I keep saying that. But yeah, Burnham and Stamets take the evidence about the tardigrade thingy over to Saru about hurting him, and he's all like, no, we have to use it. They know where the Not D7 is, so he has to spore over there immediately. But with the Monstie, they go ahead and use the Monstie, and he leaks all over the place. And he goes into survival mode. I mean, he's not dead, he's just not doing so hot. So, screw you, Saru. so that he, basically made them use the monster, and the monster turned to this. And as the captain and Ash Tyler, aka Vok, escape, leaving Harry Mudd behind, seriously, Ash Tyler was on the ship for months with Harry Mudd, and then he waited for Lorca to get there to escape. Now this little bit won't add up when the reveal happens that, we all see coming a mile away, but did Harry Mudd know Ash Tyler? How long were they on the ship together? How long's Harry Mudd been on this ship? From Mudd's perspective, was Tyler only there a month? Maybe. It's just more examples of some bad writing that was kind of pieced together, probably with a bunch of rewrites. Because, as we know, Tyler is the albino Klingon that the female sent away last time. I mean, there's no other reason to think that at this point. So he's probably only been on the ship as long as her. How long has Harry Mudd been here? Why do we see Harry Mudd anyway? I mean, he's only here to be, a reference to the original series. There's no other reason this has to be Harry Mudd. This could be anybody. This could be Q for all we know. This could be... They could pull any alien out of our... This could be freaking Chewbacca. Chewbacca could be on this ship because it's about as Star Wars as Star Trek right now. But yeah, so since these Klingons are so damn hard to tell apart, we get a nice burn down the side of this clean male's face to make sure we don't, forget that this is her in the future. I seriously didn't even realize it at the time, the first time I watched this, that this is the same Klingon from earlier, until, you read the credits, you go into, oh, that's actually L'Rell. Sure. And why the hell is she coincidentally on this ship? Space is really, really big. For this exact Klingon to be here torturing Lorca and Tyler is beyond stupid. I mean, of course, she flat out yells to Tyler, how can you do this after all we've been through? Or some other heavy-handed hint that that's, Vok, the Klingon. Are we really that stupid to not know? Why else would she say that? Why else would she say that? We're not stupid, Discovery. And of course, the captain and the Klingon spy fly away in the stolen raider. Doesn't look like a raider, but whatever. And Saru has the good sense not to blow them out of the sky, because they're doing, erratic behavior, and they're not just firing on him and stuff. So they get beamed onto Discovery since the Monstie's in a giant puddle. And they can't spore out, or can they? Well, Stamets injects himself with some of the Monstie's DNA or whatever. Because that totally works. You can just inject something else's DNA into your own and it just rewrites you or something. But hey, we're going with stuff. We're going with the fact that Harry Mudd's just on a Klingon ship, and Klingons are just out there coincidentally being the only things in the freaking galaxy as big as it is. So sure, why can't he just inject himself and rewrite his DNA at this point? It's Star Trek. Anything can happen, right? You know, I mean, he's fine. He's just a little high on the space shrooms, whatever. Of course, we have Burnham and Saru here talking out some of their differences. He's royally pissed, as he should be, for her getting all the opportunities he didn't have, and for her basically being taken under the captain's wing, and she got in on all the teachings, she got in on all the wisdom, and she basically, what'd she do? She got her killed for it. So yeah, of course he's pissed. You know, so this telescope. This telescope, oh my god. So, of course, Burnham feels bad and gives Saru the telescope, you know, the one that nobody could have possibly grabbed since Discovery wasn't salvaged and was sitting next to the Klingon ship in Federation space for 6 months, unsalvaged, while Klingons were duct taping their ship back together and eating the captain and everything. Yeah. But, you know, so Saru asks Burnham or orders her to help save the life of the tardigrade, which means basically beaming him out into space. But, you know, he's fine, and he flies off to do whatever, and he's kind of cute, so I can forgive the tardigrade a little bit. She's kind of cute, but at least he's okay. At least they didn't torture the thing to death. I think most people would have just said fuck the show completely had they tortured him to death. It's bad enough they were torturing him. You know, like something they would do in the mirror universe. But no. And of course, Stamets and the doctor have some actual human time. You know, talking and making sure everything's good, and the doctor even scans him a few times. And, you know, I actually want to see stuff like this. I want to see real human interactions, not just the drama, not the F-bombs, but the actual people. This is why I like the doctor so much on the show. You know, he's a person. and you know, I can almost get past a lot of the crap in this episode because of a scene like this, until they go and ruin it by hitting you over the head with a damn mirror setup. So Stamets is walking away here as he's still there in the mirror. Like, who can't tell what this is? Especially after all the magic mushroom drive crap that tells us we can jump anywhere, even other dimensions. Really? We need the spoiler? We're Star Trek fans. Of course we're going to pay attention and know what's coming. And please, you don't have to be so blatant. Oh, he's in the mirror. We're setting up for the mirror universe. We already figured the show is in the mirror universe. Star Trek, stop trying to be more clever than you are. Anyway, thanks for listening to me rant and pick apart this show. I do it because I care and I still want a good Star Trek someday. But thank you so much again for watching, and subscribe and like if you haven't. Come and say hi in the live streams. I do a lot of gaming live streams. I'd be more than happy to discuss any of this with anybody. But until then, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye!